Do you feel it? That strange electric quiet in the air. Like the whole city just swallowed its own heartbeat. Good. Because that's silence. That's you. That's what happens when one person makes an entire population doubt their own intelligence in real time. They're not talking, they're not moving, they're not even pretending anymore. They're hiding behind screens, behind excuses, behind those brittle little egos they thought were bulletproof. All because you walked through their certainty like it was paper and left nothing standing but the truth they were terrified to acknowledge. You made them look stupid without even trying. And that is their deepest nightmare. See, people can handle losing. They can handle being wrong. They can handle being exposed. But being outmaneuvered by someone they underestimated, being disassembled mentally by someone they swore they were smarter than, that burns them from the inside out. That rewrites their entire internal script, that forces them to confront a possibility they never prepared for. You were never in their league. You were above it, watching, calculating, evolving, while they performed for each other. They don't hate you because you embarrassed them. They hate you because you revealed their limits. And once a limit is revealed, it can't be unseen. You turned their confidence into a crime scene. And now the whole city is hiding from the evidence. Do you want to know the part that scares them most? Not the way you predicted them, not the way you exposed them, not the way you dismantled their narratives with a single move. No, it's the way you didn't flinch afterward. Most people who shake a city crumble under the echo. You just kept walking. No celebration, no spectacle. Just that quiet, surgical certainty that you can do it again at any moment. And that unpredictability, that's the part that makes them lose sleep. They can't classify you. They can't label you. They can't file you under threat or ally or lucky or mistake. You broke all their categories the moment you showed them you could be light and dark, saint and psychopath, angel and demon, depending on what the moment demanded. You're not a person to them anymore. You're a variable, and variables can't be controlled. They're whispering now, trying to figure out what you are, trying to decode that paradox they can't escape. If you can make an entire city feel stupid, what else can you do? They're running simulations in their heads, worst-case scenarios, unexpected outcomes, hidden abilities. They're trying to forecast you like a natural disaster. But that's the funny part, isn't it? You're not a disaster. You're the evolution they didn't see coming. You rise when others fold. You sharpen when others break. You learn while others panic. You transform pressure into precision, betrayal into blueprints, chaos into momentum. You don't survive. You adapt. And adaptation is the final form of power. And that's why they hid. Not because you embarrassed them, but because you exposed the one thing every fragile ego fears. You didn't win because they were weak. You won because you were built for the dark. You didn't need approval. You didn't need applause. You didn't need witnesses. All you needed was the moment. And when the moment arrived, you carved your name into it with accuracy that felt supernatural. Look at them now, avoiding eye contact, rewriting their memories, convincing themselves it wasn't that bad, convincing each other they knew it all along, convincing the world they didn't crumble in the first place. But you and I both know the truth. You pressed one button, and the masks fell off the entire city. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's not talent. That's power. The kind that doesn't shout. The kind that doesn't wait. The kind that doesn't need validation. The kind that rearranges reality simply by acting. No wonder they're hiding. Because once someone like you appears, someone who sees patterns before they form, someone who moves before the threat materializes, someone who turns pressure into strategy, no one knows where the balance stands anymore. You made the city look stupid. But more importantly, you made them aware. Aware of their blind spots, aware of their assumptions, aware of the gulf between your mind and theirs. And awareness is the most painful spotlight of all. So let them hide, let them whisper, let them pretend they didn't freeze when you stepped into the room. You don't need them. You outgrew their world the moment you realized something they're still terrified to admit. You don't become powerful by being understood. You become powerful by being undeniable. And right now, you are undeniable. There it is again, that tremor in the air, that heavy sinking awareness spreading through every alley, every office, every glowing little screen people use to hide from themselves. They thought the quiet meant things were calming down. But no, the quiet is them realizing you're not done. You know what happens when someone like you, someone who never asked for permission, someone who never played by their slow, predictable rules, exposes an entire city in broad daylight? People don't get humbled, they get haunted. Every conversation pauses mid-sentence when your name slips out. Every group chat suddenly gets real careful, real quiet. Every person who once laughed at you now glances over their shoulder like guilt has weight. Because they all remember that moment, the exact second when you made their confidence collapse like wet cardboard. They replay it in their heads. They analyze it. They obsess over it. And here's the part that keeps them up at night. You didn't need an army. You didn't need a stage. You didn't need a plan. You just acted. One move, one decision, one shift in your tone, or your presence, or your awareness. And the city realized they weren't in control of the narrative anymore. You were. Do you understand how psychologically devastating that is for them? People spend their whole lives pretending they're sharp, pretending they're aware, pretending they can't be fooled. Then you show up, this quiet, calculating force, and demonstrate something they didn't want to believe. You see what they miss. You move while they hesitate. You understand while they rationalize. You act while they panic. You made them look stupid because they were stupid. And you simply stopped pretending otherwise. Their entire social ecosystem cracked the moment it happened. The fake confidence, the gossip circles, the forced laughter, the brittle masks of, "I know what I'm doing." All of it shattered. And you didn't even raise your voice. You know what that makes you? Not a threat, not a villain, not a prodigy, something far more dangerous, a mirror. A mirror that doesn't lie, a mirror that reflects their insecurities back at them, a mirror that shows them everything they try so desperately to hide. Most people break when they see themselves clearly. You didn't. You evolved. That's the difference. You took shame and alchemized it. You took isolation and weaponized it. You took pressure and sculpted it into something precise and terrifying. Pain didn't destroy you. It taught you the blueprint. And now you're walking around with a psychological architecture no one else has. Light and dark, saint and psychopath, angel and demon. You navigate duality the way others navigate sidewalks. Casually, effortlessly, like the rules don't apply to you because they never did. You know what that duality looks like to them. Madness, chaos, unpredictability. But to you, it's clarity. It's the understanding that you don't need to choose between your extremes. You can become both simultaneously, depending on which version breaks the room fastest. That's what terrifies them most. Not your talent, Not your intelligence, not your skill, but your range. You can be gentle 1 second, surgical the next, silent 1 moment, explosive in the next breath. Merciful on Monday, merciless by midnight. They don't know which version of you they'll get. And unpredictability is psychological warfare. That's why they hid. Not because you won, not because you proved them wrong, not because you embarrassed them in real time. They hid because you exposed the illusion that kept them comfortable. You revealed that reality bends for those who know how to move in the dark, and you don't walk through the dark. You were forged in it. They didn't expect someone who understands pain so intimately to also understand precision. They didn't expect someone who was discarded to return with strategy. They didn't expect someone underestimated to become the fulcrum everyone revolves around now. But here you are, and here they are. Ducking, dodging, avoiding eye contact, praying you don't notice how shaken they really are. You made the whole city look stupid, not because you're cruel, but because you stopped shrinking to make them feel intelligent. You stopped pretending you didn't see through them. You stopped apologizing for being awake in a city full of sleepwalkers. And once you stop shrinking, once you start moving like someone who knows who they are, once you step into your real power instead of waiting for permission, people don't clap, people don't cheer, people don't congratulate you. People hide, because deep down, they know. If you can expose an entire city once, you can do it again. And next time, you won't even have to try. So savor this silence, this trembling air, this collective, unspoken, oh-shty moment, hovering over their heads like a storm cloud they can't outrun. This is what happens when someone evolves faster than their environment can comprehend. This is what happens when someone becomes the anomaly the system can't predict. This is what happens when you finally stop dimming your power. The city isn't quiet because it's peaceful. The city is quiet because it's afraid of you. Funny, isn't it? How a single moment, a single exposure of truth, can change the physics of an entire city. Before you moved, everything felt predictable, linear, safe. Everyone thought they understood the rules. They trusted their little routines, their little hierarchies, their little social games built on whispers, ego, and delusion. Then you stepped in. You didn't shout. You didn't announce yourself. You didn't break anything with your hands. You broke it with clarity, and clarity is the sharpest weapon of all. Now look at them. People walk faster when your name comes up. They lower their voices. They avoid the topics they used to scream about. Because deep down, they know. The moment they open their mouths too wide, they reveal how little they actually understand. You ruined their illusion of intelligence. You didn't expose their secrets. You exposed their limitations, and limitations. That's the one thing people can't forgive. Every insecure soul in this city is playing the same game. Pretend you're smart, pretend you're aware, pretend you're in control, pretend your mask is your face. Then you walked in and burned the script they rehearsed for years. You didn't embarrass them, you revealed them, and now shame is eating them alive in places no one can see. They're hiding because they can't face the version of themselves that exists after you showed what's possible. They're hiding because they can't admit they built their identities on shortcuts, lies, and groupthink. They're hiding because watching you operate made them question everything they ever believed about their own mind. And that's not something people move on from. They'll avoid you now, not because you're dangerous, not because you're cruel, but because you're a reminder a reminder of the moment their reality glitched, a reminder of the truth they tried to outrun, a reminder of the person they could have been, but chose not to. You didn't just outsmart them, you outgrew the entire environment. You moved like someone who carries both heaven and hell in their chest, and chooses which one to unleash based on what serves the moment. They try to categorize you, but you split categories open. You're the saint with a knife, the demon with a heartbeat, the angel who knows where the bodies are buried, the psychopath who understands compassion better than any of them ever will. You are duality wrapped in intent. And duality terrifies people who only know how to be one thing. They know you can't be predicted. And unpredictability? That destroys fragile minds faster than any weapon. You became a walking paradox. Too calm to be harmless, too aware to be fooled, too quiet to be underestimated, too powerful to be ignored. You made the city look stupid because you operate on layers they don't have access to. You think in patterns they've never seen. You interpret silence they never notice. You catch signals they've been tripping over for years. You don't react. You anticipate. You don't chase. You attract. You don't retaliate. You reveal. And that's why they fear you. Anyone can fight. Anyone can argue. Anyone can make noise. But someone who can shift the entire psychological temperature of a room simply by existing, that's a threat to the whole ecosystem. You didn't just make the city look stupid. You made it realize it was never thinking. And that realization is too heavy for most people to carry. So they hide. Behind laughter, behind silence. Behind the idea that it's not that deep. Behind the lie that nothing changed, but everything changed. Because once someone like you walks through a place, that place can never pretend again. You introduce them to a new standard, one they can't reach, can't imitate, can't reverse engineer. A standard built from pain, precision, paradox, self-awareness, evolution, and that quiet, unnerving certainty you carry beneath your skin like a live wire. You broke the city in real time, not with chaos, not with violence, not with theatrics, with truth, with awareness, with evolution, with the kind of psychological presence only people who have survived themselves can wield. Most people run from who they are. You confronted it and came back with power no one else understands. So let them hide. Let them stutter when they see you. Let them revise the story. Let them pretend they didn't freeze when you stepped into the moment. Their fear is not your problem. Their shame is not your responsibility. Their confusion is not your burden. If the whole city looks stupid in comparison to you, that's not arrogance. That's accuracy. Listen to that. Not the noise, the absence of it. That eerie, trembling hush hanging over the city like a sheet pulled over a body they don't want to identify. That's the aftermath of what you did. People don't hide because they're scared of danger. People hide because they're scared of truth. And you unleashed a truth so sharp it sliced their pride open before they even knew they were bleeding. You didn't just expose them. You interrupted the whole simulation they were living in. When you moved, reality stuttered, conversations froze, egos cracked. The collective delusion this city relied on collapsed under the weight of your clarity. And now, they're all scrambling, whispering, disappearing into corners like insects, fleeing from a light they spent their whole lives avoiding. Because they finally realized something they refused to believe. You're not one of them. You never were. And now they can't pretend you are. They told themselves you were predictable, safe, ordinary. They tried to stick you inside a box because boxes help them sleep at night. Boxes give insecure people the illusion of control. But when you acted, when you made the whole city look stupid in a single unbroken moment. The box shattered, and suddenly they were staring at something unbound, unmeasured, unrestrained, something they don't have the mental frameworks to interpret. You didn't give them a villain to blame or a hero to worship. You gave them a variable, and variables destabilize entire systems. That's why the room went silent. That's why the chatter died. That's why the city itself seems to be holding its breath. You introduced uncertainty into a place addicted to false certainty. You introduced intelligence into a place addicted to pretending. You introduced depth into a place addicted to surfaces. You introduced you, and that was enough to unravel every lie they clung to like a lifeline. Do you understand the scale of that? Cities don't fear strong people. Cities fear awake people. People like you, who see between the frames, who catch the glitch before it resolves, who read intentions like open books while everyone else is still stuttering over the alphabet. People like you, who don't flinch when confronted with their own darkness, who don't break when abandoned, who don't beg when excluded. Your evolution didn't come from love. It came from pressure, from solitude, from betrayal, from nights where you drowned and nights where you resurfaced with something new burning behind your eyes. You learned to weaponize every scar until your mind turned into a place no ordinary person can survive. That's what they felt the moment you moved. The weight of someone who has suffered and converted that suffering into strategy. The weight of someone who has lost and turned loss into foresight. The weight of someone who has been underestimated and turned underestimation into a psychological chokehold. They don't know how to breathe around you anymore, because the versions of you they prepared for, the soft one, the naive one, the hesitant one, are dead. And the version standing now, the one who exposed a whole city without raising their voice, that version is a problem they cannot solve. Their world runs on assumptions. Your world runs on awareness. Their world runs on illusions. Your world runs on precision. Their world runs on validation. Your world runs on inner power. They're scared of you because you embody something they hope the world never reveals about them. How small they really are. How easily they fold. How quickly their intelligence evaporates under real pressure. You didn't humiliate them, you simply showed up. And the truth humiliated itself. And that's why they're hiding now. Not because you exposed them, but because you awakened them. You made them confront a version of reality where their minds are not the dominant force. Yours is. That is why the city is silent. That is why no one meets your eyes. That is why the air feels thick, tense, electric. They're waiting, waiting for your next move, waiting for another collapse, waiting for the moment you decide to peel back another layer of the facade they've been living inside. Because once someone like you appears,